Armed with the knowledge of the Joker's true origin, will Bruce Wayne ever be able to escape the prison of Zur-En-Arrh? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman issue number 145 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as we pick up with this brand new story arc, we get probably one of my favorite Batman reactions I've ever seen. Remember, for the last 3 issues, Bruce has just been sitting here listening to the Joker's Year 1 origin. And now that that story's officially done, Bruce just can't help but blurt out what is essentially, "That's bullshit. You and I have the same master. We both learned to partition our minds. I hate that." And yeah, let's face it, Batman probably would hate that revelation. Surprisingly though, the Joker doesn't seem upset at all that him and Bruce are still imprisoned under Blackgate Penitentiary right now. In fact, he's actually overjoyed to have had his back broken by the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, or as he puts it, the Purest Batman. A true elemental being more worthy of the Clown Prince of Crime's obsession, and it's only a matter of time before he breaks out and the two can clash all over again. And hey, speaking of the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, where is he right now? Well, he's taken to the streets of Gotham, continuing to pilot the failsafe robot and using its advanced technologies to war on crime and criminality with a brand new zero-tolerance approach. We see him break up an arms dealing ring by shooting it with a bunch of missiles. A bunch of the smugglers end up getting murked right away, but failsafe Batman actually lets one live just long enough so that he can deliver a message to the rest of the underworld that Batman is back, and he's officially entering his fuck around and find out era. We also get a really solid look at Zur-En-Arrh, Batman's new failsafe costume, and I gotta say, I like it. It's reminiscent enough of the old Batman that you might be confused from afar, but the angles are all robotic and inhuman close up. Now, another really interesting thing about this issue is how it seeks to kind of resolve a lot of the hanging plot threads from Gotham War. A lot of the other Bat family of books basically wasn't dealing with it at all, mainly because it seemed like a lot of people, even the creators themselves, agreed that that story really did not hit the landing and do what they wanted it to do. Yet you gotta give a major round of applause to Chip Zdarsky here for basically making lemonade out of lemons. You see, it's actually Red Hood Jason Todd who ends up responding to failsafe Batman's attack first. And like I said, at first glance, he's not actually sure if this is Batman or not. You might also remember that during Gotham War, Bruce had gave him a bunch of invasive brain surgery to make him afraid and get him out of the fight, and worse still, he never actually apologized. I complained about that in my initial video, but guess what? In this issue, not only does Zur-En-Arrh take complete responsibility for that horrifying thing that Bruce did, but he even goes a little step further by weaponizing an apology to Jason to try and get him to let his guard down. He also spins a hell of a tale saying that he really is Bruce, and the reason he looks all mechanical is that the only way to defeat failsafe and Zur-En-Arrh was for Bruce Wayne to lose his own body, but that he should totally be trusted. It's a believable enough story, but Jason as the Red Hood ends up seeing right through it when he figures, yeah, you know what, Batman would never apologize to me that succinctly. Now back over with Bruce and the Joker, Batman is able to escape his cell by making use of some of the pins in Joker's neck brace to pick the lock. He then uses some rags to protect his own identity, before we eventually learn that Bruce and the Joker aren't even the only prisoners currently being held here deep in the bowels of Blackgate. It seems despite his kill 'em all and let God sort 'em out approach to crime fighting, there's certain people that Zur-En-Arrh felt the need to lock up, including Vandal Savage, aka the real villain of Gotham War who bought Wayne Manor, and in the backup stories they made it seem like they were actually gonna run with that idea and do more stuff with it. Yeah, nah, Zur-En-Arrh just kind of evicted him, and now he's here as a prisoner. Before Batman can even finish his conversation with the immortal caveman though, he ends up getting rushed by fail-safe drones, those same robots who had briefly taken over the city before. And hey, you know what? If it feels like Gotham City getting taken over every couple months is really super annoying, well guess what? Failsafe absolutely agrees. In fact, he takes over all the streaming devices in the entire city to broadcast a message to the people there. He says that under his new watch as the Batman, crime and criminality will finally be stomped out once and for all, the way that it was always meant to be, the way that only a perfect Batman would ever be capable of doing. Zur-En-Arrh is also more than ready to make damn good on this promise too by stomping out number 1 on his current hit list, that being the Riddler, Edward Nygma. You'll recall that at the end of Gotham War it was heavily implied that Batman might be joining forces with the Riddler in exchange for information. In fact, it's implied here that Riddler even actually helped Zur-En-Arrh take down Vandal Savage, but hey, wouldn't you know it, Zur-En-Arrh is far from loyal. Oh, but it doesn't stop there either. Even Mayor Nakano and Chief of Police Renee Montoya are freaked out by this new change in Batman's personality. Nakano is going to pieces, but Montoya actually sticks up for Batman, invoking all the times that he saved the city. Again, a far cry from the way Montoya was written in Gotham War when she was combative for basically no reason. Failsafe also goes to make contact with Damian Wayne Robin, and while Red Hood was able to see through the robot's lies. When Zur-En-Arrh opens up to Damian and tells him a story from his childhood that only the real Bruce Wayne could possibly have known, it's left open-ended whether or not Damian does actually fall for this trick, or if he's only letting Zur-En-Arrh think that he's tricked. Now, as the main story ends up coming to a close, Batman comes to back inside Blackgate Penitentiary, only to be met by Failsafe's warden, a familiar character, Daniel Capito. A man who most certainly did not die at the hands of the Joker all those years ago, and who actually takes credit for Zur-En-Arrh's creation. But wait, how did he survive? Why is he here now, you might be asking? Well, guess what? All of that is actually explained in the backup. In fact, this backup is actually a direct sequel to another backup story wherein the Joker actually met the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh for the first time. Seriously, these backups are so important, you really should have been reading them. It would seem that after that initial meeting, the Joker became even more obsessed with Batman and trying to coax out this darker, more primal side of him. Joker once again reiterates that he feels that him and Batman are two sides of the same coin. The Dark Knight looks dangerous and dark, but inside he's just a simple child's idea of how the world should work. Well, transversely, the Joker looks simplistic on the surface, like something a child would create, but deep down he's actually dark and complex. When the psychiatrist at Arkham proved unable to help the Joker better understand his vision, he decided to escape. It's here we learn that the Joker didn't actually kill Dr. Daniel Capito all those years ago. He just horribly maimed him before locking him up inside one of his old safe houses, feeding him every so often. Once again, the Doctor wasn't all too upset by this turn of events. In fact, he actively relished the chance to further study and psychoanalyze not only the Joker, but Batman by extension. Two elemental beings, two masters of the mental arts that he spent his entire life inventing, now forever stuck on an eternal collision course with one another. It's Capito who tells the Joker that this Zur-En-Arrh, this pure Batman that he witnessed, was probably another personality created by Bruce using the super sanity method, and that the only way he'd ever be able to coax him out was to create a big enough crisis that Bruce would feel desperate enough to put his other personality in the driver's seat, and well, we all know what happened after that, don't we? And so that was Batman issue number 145, everybody, and I gotta say, this is a really strong kickoff to this brand new arc. I think a lot of people were worried that what we found out in Joker Year 1 wouldn't be all that important to this new story, but oh man, was it actually really important. Hell, this new issue basically seeks to imply that Daniel Capito is the real villain behind all of this, moving the pieces around, whispering in the Joker's ear, giving Batman the skills that in his endless paranoia he would one day use to create Zur-En-Arrh, who in turn would end up creating Failsafe. And the fact that he did it basically for no other reason than just to see what would happen and what he could possibly learn from such an event, well, geez, that's pretty goddamn evil, isn't it? The rest of the book is also really interesting too from a meta-narrative, as this is Chip Zdarsky basically saying, hey, can I have a mulligan on all that Gotham War stuff? If no one else is gonna actually do anything with it, why should I? And you know what, I already think the series is much better for it. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 9 out of 10, just when I think I know where this book is going, just when I think I really have it nailed down, they end up completely doing a run around my expectations in the best way possible, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the arc goes from here. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.